The head of the US Secret Service, Julia Pierson, has stepped down following a series of security breaches. On Tuesday, she was grilled by members of Congress over the lapses. Last month, an intruder with a knife ran into the White House, passing through the front door to reach the East Room. There are also reports that an armed man was present in an elevator with Barack Obama during the president's trip to Atlanta last month. At the congressional hearing, Pierson said the incidents had damaged the agency's reputation.
This afternoon, the president had the opportunity to telephone Director Pierson to express his appreciation for her service to the agency and to the country. She dedicated more than 30 years of her life to the United States Secret Service and to the important work that they do over there.
More now from Al Jazeera's Shihab Rattansi, who joins us live from Washington, D.C. Just hours ago, Shihab, the White House had confidence in Julia Pierson. So was she pushed or did she jump?
Actually, just a complete lack of surprise in Washington that she had to go. There was this slow drip of information that had been released. First, of course, there was that pretty disastrous congressional testimony that appeared to satisfy no one. But then, shortly after that, or actually during that in some ways, there were reports coming out that President Obama had been allowed to travel in an elevator at the CDC, as you mentioned, in Atlanta, with an armed man who had a criminal record. Not only that, though, but that the White House didn't know about it until an hour before that report came out in the Washington Post. I think around then, it looked like Pierson's days were numbered at the head of the Secret Service. There's also then been these various reports that have been coming out about just how far that intruder got into the White House last month, again, contradicting what the Secret Service had been saying. So she's now gone. It seemed pretty inevitable, I have to say, to be replaced by an acting interim director, a veteran of the Secret Service who'd in fact resigned in 2011. And now there's much hope that he will be able to oversee some sort of reform in the Secret Service. But one has to remember that Pierson was brought in to reform the Secret Service as well, following a series of scandals involving Secret Service agents getting drunk and using prostitutes while supposedly protecting members of the government.
You mentioned this elevator incident. What more do we know about that?
Well, it was a security contractor who was apparently working at the CDC. It seems like, again, the Secret Service didn't file any sort of report at the time, and some Washington Post journalists and I think one from the Washington Times has sort of stumbled on the information. So again, there's a sense of cover-up. I think politely people are saying, well, the Secret Service lacks transparency. I think the more candid way of referring to that is a sense of cover-up. And yeah, the White House didn't even know about it until the report came out in the Washington Post.
Shihab, many thanks. Shihab Rattansi in Washington.